Right, so I'm sorry to do that, but let me just get right into what we're going to talk about next, and that is from David's Cookies. Their award-winning, ready-to-bake cookies in a 60-count offering. This is Customer Choice Award for Best Cookie for 2021. They're a company that has been Customer Choice Award winners for their cake, for their cookies, for their brownies, for just about everything they make, and honestly, this is the kind of star of the show with David's. 1979, there's a famous department store in New York where they would actually be baking these cookies, and you would smell that fragrance coming up from the basement, and it was like, you know, Pepe Le Pew following your nose to get down to that bakery so you could get some David's. Well, now you can have that experience at home. These are the large of the 60 count, and you have a choice of the all chocolate chunk. So if you want everything to be chocolate chunk, you can ask for that, and that's what you see here in the 60 count. Or you can get the combination of the chocolate chunk and cherry, chocolate chunk and peanut butter, or the chocolate chunk and oatmeal, and they're all good. You're going to get chocolate chunk regardless. If you want all chunk, then you can get those as well. 4 easy pays of $11.24 per month. There is auto delivery on this. You can lock into a shipment every 60 days for 1 year. And I said this earlier with Mary Beth. You know, I like having these David's in my freezer because at any given time, and it's most of the time just me and my husband at home, I can go in and grab a couple of pieces of the preformed dough, throw them on the baking sheet, and in just about 12 minutes have the most delicious fresh baked cookie without having to do the bowl with the mixing and the this and the that and the flours and the chips. And you know, then you get, of course, you find out that you don't have something after you've already started making the mix. You don't have to do that. This is exactly what you get, and you'll put them in the freezer, and they can stay in the freezer until you're ready to use them. Adina Michio is back to talk with us about these amazing cookies. These are the big ones too, Adina.
Yes, Jane. These are the big ones. These are the ones, to your point, that started it all in 1979. 1.5 ounces. This is 60 large pieces of cookie dough. This is our award-winning chocolate chunk, that cookie that actually started it. And to your point, Jane, everyone's going to get a box of those. So it's just about finding your favorite. And we have some really great flavors that I can't wait to tell you about.
All right, so chocolate chunk, we'll start there, and then let's go into each one of them. We can do the cherry if you want.
Sure. Cherry white chocolate chip. Did you want to start with, I'm sorry, yeah, cherry, good. This is a delicate golden cookie. Creamy white chocolate chips, and you can see lots of them. But the best part is all about those Michigan cherries. Whole, dried, premium Michigan cherries. No artificial cherry flavor. The cherry is the star of the show. If you love your Germac mix with your cherries in it, go for this cookie.
Yeah, I love the texture that you get. Really so you get that little brightness with the cherry, but then you also get the richness of the white chocolate. Peanut butter. Hello, peanut butter chocolate.
Hello, double peanut butter. By the way, you know what we say, Jane, you're not supposed to have favorites like your kids, but this, by the way, 20 plus years I've been with David's Cookies, and this is my favorite cookie. This is a rich double peanut butter cookie. Peanut butter in the base, peanut butter chips. Oh, by the way, Reese's peanut butter chips. And this cookie dough is unlike any other peanut butter. Move over, Grandma, because we got you beat like big time.
Oh my gosh, it's so moist and it just basically falling apart. And believe it or not, my favorite is the oatmeal.
Yeah, it's my son's favorite as well. I mean, go figure. This is that molasses cookie, a hint of cinnamon, loaded with California plump raisins. I love this cookie because you'll get that crispy edge, Jane, when you bake them 12 to 15 minutes in your oven. You'll get that tender center. This cookie just smells like home.
Look at this. It's like, yeah, it's so melty and so delicious. And of course, everybody gets a chocolate chunk, and you can't go wrong. I mean, just to talk about chocolate chunk, I'm going to take this one to show you what we're talking about. Maybe we should rename this, Mary Beth, to chocolate mounds, because that's more than just chunks.
Right, it's my favorite. Although, I have to tell you, what's the most limited? The
chunky chunk. So here's the funniest thing. Our producer, whose nickname is Chunky, his favorite is the chunky chunk. So if you want Chunky's favorite, get the chocolate chunk. And that would be all 60 in the chocolate chunk.
That's
but
right.
keep in mind, with every other flavor, you're going to get half chocolate chunk and then half the cherry, or half chocolate chunk and half peanut butter, half chocolate chunk and half of the oatmeal. So you get a little bit of chunk in every order.
I like that. You know, one of the things I have to say too, just like you were saying, and I know we're short on time, but I will say this. I don't want to be without these cookies in my freezer. Because all of a sudden I find out my young adult kids are coming home and they're bringing a friend or bringing a roommate or whatever. I'm like, okay, I got to make cookies. I don't have time to do the whole thing from scratch. I figured you already did. So David's Cookies already did the work for me. All I have to do is literally heat the oven, put these on a plate, on a cookie sheet, put them in the oven, and everybody's like, wow, you made homemade fresh chocolate chip cookies? Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I did.
So
and
that's
you know
what I
what?
say.
And talk
Yes,
about freshness. This is why they made the cookie dough, so that they're always the same. It's always consistent. Every time you turn on that oven, you're guaranteed success. Now, if you want to play around and do things like ice cream sandwiches, or do little crocs, or use them, you know, on your buffet table in other ways, use them as toppings for your frozen beans or whatever, you can. But by themselves, they are absolutely just the best. So 60 pieces, these are the large cookies. You can have all chocolate chunk, and we have 100 chocolate chunk, and that's it. So if you want all chocolate chunk, then please get them now. If you want chocolate chunk with the cherry, we have 100 remaining. Chocolate chunk with the peanut butter, 450. Chocolate chunk with the oatmeal raisin, there's 550. Over 75 5-star reviews, so don't take it from me. Go to QVC.com and check out what people are saying about it. I see you're dunking your chunks.
I'm dunking my chunk, and you know, it would be a shame to let this dunked cookie go to waste, Dave.
Go for it, girl. You earned it. All right, Adina, thank you so much. And here's the process again of putting them on the tray. That's as simple as it is. You can bake as many or as few as you like, put them in the oven, and that's it. Let's gather around some cookies.